Da. Fool. Ugh, my throat went weird. Hello and welcome back to the pit. My name is Solin Outlander. We are playing King Arthur 2, the tactical role-playing wargame where I am not playing King Arthur. I am playing William Pendragon. And yet my faction is still called King Arthur. Go figure.
Yes, my lord.
Now, the important question I have to ask myself... Okay, instantly I spotted it. Battle not possible, so it is worth doing this before I end turn.
On my way.
Merlin had secret lairs, towers, and dungeons all over the land. After taking back Bedford from the possessed armies, you learn that one of Merlin's secret hideouts is right here, deep in the forest. It looks like an ordinary blacksmith shop, but don't let appearances fool you.
Oh, appearances never fool me. I have the eyes of a dragon. That's a lie. I'm actually quite short-sighted.
The blacksmith's old workshop looks like a tomb. 3 steps lead down to the entrance, a big stone door. You leave your army behind and walk downstairs.
I'm very confident in my ability to take on whatever might appear. I don't need no stinking army. I'm William Pendragon, apparently.
You see 5 levers in the wall made of different materials and a sign. The last one is next to the golden. The brass one comes earlier than the sapphire, and first one is next to it. The one in the middle is the neighbor of the wooden one. The golden one comes later than the brass.
Oh, balls. Yeah, I enjoy riddles, but that doesn't mean I'm good at riddles. Last one is next to the golden. Well, which of these is golden? The last one is next to golden, the brass one comes earlier than sapphire, and the first one is next to it. The first one is next to sapphire, so brass? It doesn't help I don't actually know what... So I'm going to write down this riddle. Oh, ow, bugger. Right, phone.
A few moments later.
Right, now that's written down. If I just click on try to solve the puzzle, does it help me tell which ones are which?
You see 5 different levers in this order: brass, gold, sapphire, wood, and silver. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbor of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbor of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbor of wood. Gold follows brass.
Right, so brass, gold, sapphire, wood, silver. Last one is the neighbour of gold, so that's either brass or sapphire. Brass precedes sapphire, which means sapphire is last. First is the neighbour of sapphire, which is either wood or gold. The one in the middle is the neighbour of wood. Oh, bloody hell. I lose my train of thought so easily, and I have real memory problems. Right, so let's get my notepad. Notepad. So, I honestly believe sapphire is the last one. Last one is the neighbour of gold. Brass precedes sapphire, so sapphire is last. We know that brass comes somewhere before it. Considering sapphire comes last, that's fair. The first is the neighbour of sapphire, which can be either gold or wood. The one in the middle is the neighbour of wood. Silver. The first is the neighbour of sapphire. Wood or gold? Gold follows brass. First is neighbour of sapphire. Double checking my fact finding. So gold has to follow brass. Which means wood. First is neighbour of sapphire, which is wood. So wood.
You have pulled one lever. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbour of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbour of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbour of wood. Gold follows brass.
Silver.
You have already pulled 2 levers. The
Brass.
sign on the wall says, you have already pulled 3 levers. The sign on the wall says,
Gold.
the last one is the... You have already pulled
Sapphire.
4 levers. You pulled the last lever, but nothing happens. Maybe the sequence was not right. You do not forget the fact that if you want to get to the secret of the blacksmith, you have to know the legend of Sir Brandon. You push the levers back and try it again.
Legend of Sir Brandon. So it came to pass that a long, long time ago, brave Sir Brandon embarked on an adventure to find a magical sword from the First Age of Wonder. And apart from finding the legendary artifact, he returned with more. He gained a glimpse of the knowledge that used to be the privilege of the gods. Sir Brandon sailed his boat from Tyndagal, or Tyndagal, whatever. His boat was a masterwork of and a true wonder, with shining and strong wooden planks, brass fittings, silver plating, gold ornaments, and sails the colour of sapphire. Wood, brass, silver. What did I get the wrong way round? I got brass and silver the wrong way round, assuming that's the actual... It was a long journey and a dangerous one to that, and Sir Brandon's life... was spared on many occasions only by his magical robe, richly woven with threads of gold, and his enchanted ring with a sapphire glinting in the mount. When the boat had been sailing the sea for a fortnight, they saw a terrible storm was approaching, a storm that raged and howled like the legendary dragons of Wales. And although Sir Brandon ordered his men to avoid the tempest and stayed on the rim of the dark swirling maelstrom, a blinding thunderbolt struck the boat straight into Sir Brandon, but he was saved by his magical robe. After that, they sailed to the west for 3 days, then they sailed to the north for 2 days, and another 3 days in the direction of the rising sun. Only then did they tear away from the frothing terrible sea, and the fog parted and they saw the Isle of Mists. Sir Brandon went on the shore where he fought the guardian of the island, a terrible creature with 3 heads. The battle raged on for a whole day and a whole night. Sir Brandon cut down the first head, then burned the stump with the scorching flames that he summoned with his magic ring. And then he did the same with the second head. The third, the head on the right, he kept alive, for he needed it to guide him to the sword. The monster feared its life so much that it told the knight everything he wanted to know, and even more. So it happened that Sir Brandon found the magic sword in an ancient forge, where powerful beings created arcane items before the dawn of time, and when he sailed away he left the island with the secret of forging artifacts. They passed down for generations to come. Interesting. Right, so try again to solve the puzzle.
You see 5 different levers in this order: brass, gold, sapphire, wood, and silver. You have pulled 1 lever. The sign on the wall. You have already pulled 2 levers. The sign on the wall says you have already pulled 3 levers. The sign on the wall. You have already pulled 4 levers. After pulling the 5th lever, you hear a click and the noise of stone on stone. The stone door slides to the side and you enter the workshop of the blacksmith.
I will have a look around the workshop. I mean, it's nice of it to actually give me the answer straight up. I mean, if I reread it, I'd probably have worked out that I'd made the mistake, but oh well, I can acknowledge that I was a derp.
Nothing implies that magical items were made here once. The workshop is old and the equipment is poor. You find a cape though, which is clearly magical. You remember that a cape like this was mentioned in the lore of Sir Brandon.
I inspect the chest.
You find a ring in the chest. This must be the magical ring of Sir Brandon, which the legend tells of. You take it and close the chest again. The door opens onto a short corridor which leads to another room. It is completely empty, but there are 2 doors at the other end of the room. You see a picture of a maze over the first one and a straight corridor over the other. You start to think about why anybody would choose the maze over the straight corridor.
I think I'll try my luck in the maze.
The air is warm and arid in the corridor, and it smells of fish and salt. It feels as if you are sailing on a sunny sea. There are 3 directions to choose from at the first crossroads.
Yes, west.
Soon you reach another junction.
West.
Soon you reach another junction.
West.
Soon you reach another junction.
North.
Soon you reach another junction.
North.
Soon you reach another junction.
The sun rises from the east, doesn't it? I mean, Japan's known as the Kingdom of the Rising Sun, or the Empire of the Rising Sun, and that's as east can be. So, east for free.
Soon you reach another junction. Soon you reach another junction. Finally, you reach a massive oak door at the end of the labyrinth which opens onto another room.
I will continue.
The room is only 4 steps long, and you see a strong oak door at the end with a drawing of a maze above it. There is a crystal-walled stone pedestal filled with some kind of liquid. You see 3 vats below with handles. Each one of them contains a scroll.
Okay.
After turning the handles, the lid may be lifted, but then liquid will fill the vats and the scrolls will be destroyed. If you turn them one by one, only the first 2 will fill up, but the 3rd one remains unharmed. You have to decide which scroll to save.
The one on the right.
You turn the handles one by one. The first 2 vats fill with liquid, and you see the maps dissolve in 2 heartbeats. After turning the third handle, you open the lid that uncovers a map of the maze, with signs indicating traps and secret doors.
Aha!
With the map in hand, you enter the maze. You keep on deactivating traps and finding hidden doors, until you find Sir Brandon's magical sword in a secret chamber. In the end, you manage to get to the last room. There is a big fireplace along one of the walls. You see a key hanging in it on a chain over magical flames. This must open the only door out. There is a sign over the fireplace. The hunger of this fire can only be quenched by magic.
Ah, okay. I mean, I have a feeling I'm supposed to throw the sword in there. I would kind of really like that sword, so
The flames flare up and get brighter as you throw the object onto them, but soon they start to settle down as they consume the magical item. Now you are free to take the key.
oh, I'd lose the sword.
After opening the door, you walk into a library. The shelves are empty. The only book you can see is one covered in leather on a pillar. You have found the secret knowledge of the magical forge. You take the valuable book and leave the maze.
Now the question is, were the cape and ring worth it? So, Cape of Sir Brandon, +2 defense. If I equip another 2... Well, that implies that I could have kept the... Oh, Ring of Sir Brandon. That implies there's 4 pieces to this set, and I've only got 2. I am very confused now. Right, I'm going to take back what I said before. I am going to actually retry that.
There is a sign over the fireplace. The hunger of this fire can only be quenched by magic.
Right, so what happens if I just reach for the key?
You put your hand into the flames, but they don't burn you, although you feel your magical defenses growing weaker. You grab the key and quickly pull it out of the fire.
Okay, so the magic shield in battles actually has relevance, a bit of story gameplay integration. Fair enough. Wish I knew about that.
After opening the door, you walk into a library. The shelves are empty. The only book you can see is one covered in leather on a pillar. You have found the secret knowledge of the magical forge. You take the valuable book and leave.
Well,
the maze.
next battle my magic will be a little nerfed, but I think I can cope with that. Close. Right, so I can sacrifice, I can forge. I don't know if I want to forge right now. Yeah. I could do with sacrificing a minor item. So if I were to... Oh, I don't think I've unlocked sacrificing yet. Blimey. Okay, I won't bother with that right now. Now, Sir Brandon's full set. I mean, on the one hand, that does strike me as a really nice crown, but let's wear a full set. Oh. Oh. Extra damage versus armor piercing and automatic cleaving, I like. And the ring. I'll keep the soul ring. Although deals an extra 60 fire damage, and soon I'll have plus 10 spell power and then an extra 1000 HP. Extra damage on top of that and cooldown, so I can cope with that one. And if I can find a fourth piece to the set, even more fire damage. Do I have a shield or another weapon? I need a one-handed weapon. There we go. Still can't give you any artifacts. Now, I need to work out where to get a fourth item of Sir Brandon. Oh, go away. You're terrifying.
Your father's incurable wound would probably have killed him, were it not for the ancient magic of Bedegrain Forest. Sadly, the wound keeps on drawing on that magic, and the forest is shrinking rapidly. But there is a positive side to this. The receding twilight has revealed several ancient ruins from the time of legends. They are likely to hold untold treasures, my lord, and I strongly believe that you should explore them.
Oh, thanks.
I've marked them on your map.
kind of useless to mark them right now, considering it's winter, but a couple of diplomacy quests. Aha. Aha. Let's go for Master Armourers. Trade contracts rather. Right. New diplomacy action. I can improve my relations with these fine fellows. Who are these fine fellows? Lord Raymond. Aha. I can improve my relations with them. Let's do so.
In Merlin's secret workshop maze, you found some rare scrolls, one of which described the whereabouts of an ancient tome. This tome is a highly prized treasure in the eyes of the monks of Medisham. However, the library that contains this tome is deep in the Fomorian-infected regions of the south.
Huh. In Merlin's... so I can send a messenger to Medisham with the whereabouts of the library, and they should do the rest. It's +4. I can use up some of my... Well, I can send out troops to the library to get it the tone. I lose 2 selected units. That gives me a nice big buff and thing. Or I can have -5 to my relationship to the Guild of Outlaws and some gold, and we can then get the tome and send it to them for an extra bit of lore as well, and not costing me units. I like that. Let's do that one. I have earned the respect of the Regent of Medisham, and also gained invaluable knowledge that could help my own research. We shall form an alliance. Now, I don't think I have any unspent. Ooh. Let's have a look at joint venture.
The Regent of Medisham is dedicated to maintaining the growth of his province, even in the face of constant Fomorian threats. Unfortunately, he lacks the necessary financial means. If you were to invest in his plan, your diplomatic relations would surely benefit, and you should expect a return on your investment as well.
Right, so I can invest in new warehouses and trading posts for commerce. +2 to my relationship, -4 grand, but I'll get 500 gold over the next 10 turns. Well, for 10 turns. Same price, lower build research speed for 10 turns, but I get an extra grand out of it. That would be money on a jousting field where we can improve martial skill. More expensive is that one, but that's straight up... Hold on a sec, so that would earn me 10,000 gold overall, so I'd be making a 4,000 gold profit. 500... let's... That would be 6,000? So again, 2,000 gold profit. 1,000 gold profit. And that one also gives me the most reputation gain. I will do that one. I mean, 5 turns of less income is slower build and research is fine. Can I do anything new with you? Nope. No.
Although magic has left Bedegrain Forest, the twisted woods of Penguin still hide abandoned settlements of the Sidhe. Irresistible lure to adventurous souls who would risk all to possess the treasures of their former keepers. King Aldrith has neither the time nor the resources to explore these wondrous ruins, but he might be willing to allow your knights to enter the gloomy forests.
I send warriors to explore an abandoned castle. That makes up for some of the cost of my joint venture before. Right now it's money I need above all else, as I've learnt from dead legions. I'm not, strictly speaking, getting money consistently. So I need to actually be careful about losing my money, lest I get into battles that I can't replenish my casualties from. Right, so let's save the patronage for the moment. Worry about my level ups. Extra skill point. Oh. And unit damage or max HP. Let's go for unit damage. A bit of cleave. 7 skill points. So I can max out the bless. Ooh, lightning strike. Which I'll need to eventually get lightning bolt. Right, so one of that. One of that. And that. And then next level I'll focus on the cleaving. Spell power, yeah, go for it. You're a leader of infantry, and soon you will be able to do blast. That works. I think for Agravain, my first priority will be getting at least 1 point on everything, and then I'll focus on what to max out. Ah, new skill. Masters of Ambush. I like passives. Okay, so I've been focusing on damage? Oh, right, yeah, okay. Defense. Damage. Damage. And oops, damage. I actually need to get to them, so never mind that. Home of the heavy infantry. I will give them, well, I suppose because I'm focusing on the skill points being defense, I will make them a trained militia. The castle. Bedford, isn't it? Yes. you can have the units and the liege lords. Coventry, Sherwood, yep, everywhere seems to be doing well there. I'll go for it. Probably shouldn't, but let's go for it regardless. Which then brings up another point. Bedford. And that is turn. New diplomacy action is available. Aha! A fair damsel can join my court.
King Sinric's young...
Excuse me? Okay. King Sinric's youngest daughter has always wanted a life in Arthur's court as a damsel who could take her pick among the bravest and noblest suitors. Now that she is of appropriate age, I could invite her to Heartwood Keep. There we go. Does that mean... I suppose at some point she'll just... Oh, okay. Lady Nolia, would you like to marry Agravain? You will be helping him. Actually, I'll make you Beatrix. Give you Beatrice, rather.
Ready to serve.
There we go. Now, I think that is terrifying, and I need to sort out these creatures of the mounds, so let's go travel. Although there is diplomacy I could sort out. Hermit's treasure and a majestic ruin. Let's sort this out first. Didn't mean to skip that, but okay. My warriors have returned from aiding the Wanderers. Druids successfully cleansed the grove with their support, but found no trace of the disappeared members of their order. New units in reserve, which is always a nice little bonus. Hi, you have Bloodfang Drast. You do not have any flyers. Automatically I like this fight.